Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, today I have the ZLLRC SG906 Pro 2 Smart Drone. Yeah, it says Pro 2 on this side, so there you can see Pro 2. Well, what does Pro 2 mean? Well, that is the successor to the Pro. The Pro had a 2-axis gimbal. The Pro 2 has a 3-axis gimbal. But let me get the drone out and show it to you. Okay, so this is the Pro 2, and if you have a doubt, it says so right there, SG906 Pro 2. And here is the gimbal, so it'll go sideways like this, up and down, and plus tilt. So hopefully that will net us some nice, smooth, stable video. It shoots in 1080p in video and will shoot 4K photos. Of course, it's a brushless motor drone. It's just a Wi-Fi drone, so range is not going to be its strong suit, but it should do okay. GPS and GLONASS, it does record to an SD card, and you can see that right here. I want to kind of, hopefully you can see how much that sticks up there, but that card is in there, but it does look a little precarious the way that's mounted. Oh, it does also have optical flow, so you can see the little camera down here. That's an optical flow sensor. Gosh, that's about it. I want you to see the beast on the top there, the beast drone. So this has been a pretty popular product. The folks at TomTop sent me this for a review. They've got it on sale right now for $159.95. I will put a link in the description down below. Now, of course, prices change all the time, so who knows if it'll be that price when you look at this review. But let's take this guy up and let's just see what it'll do. Oh, another change I just thought of that I should tell you about. So the original Beast Pro had a 2800 milliamp battery. This one's got a 3400. So they're saying like 28 minutes flight time. Don't quote me on that. Maybe it's 26. But anyway, increased flight time. So, and this is not a smart battery either, although it does have lights on the back. So we'll see how it does today. You know, a drone like this, you know, flight time is not usually typically your biggest issue because it's not a long distance product. Mostly what we're hoping to see today is decent flight and then some good stabilized video. So I got high hopes that we can call this one a success. So let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird in the air. Okay, so it took me a second to get connected, but what you can do is, so I fired up the drone, then the controller, and I connected Wi-Fi to my phone first, so I don't know if that affected it, but I just simply powered down the drone, powered it back on, and I did get a connection. And you can tell because then you'll see both the RX and the TX battery level there, and that way you know you've got the remote connected. The other thing I'll add is these antenna do nothing. There's no wires going to them, so they're not, I mean, we'll fold them down, but they really don't do anything. So next we're going to need to first thing I want to do is take a look at settings, but you know, I forgot. Let's start a screen recording, and I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to go into settings, and anti-shaking, we're going to turn that off, and fix photos off. Now, my understanding is that anti-shaking is for just the Beast that does not have a gimbal on it. That uses your phone to stabilize the video, electronic image stabilization. So we're going to leave record on. We're in English, so we're good to go there. And setting completion, and then we need to go to prepare to fly, and this is where we're going to do the we're going to calibrate. So the first thing it should ask us to do is to do a magnetic calibration. No, it's doing a sensor calibration first. Okay, calibration success, it says. So now it wants us to do the magnetic calibration, so I'm going to walk out and do that. Now, I didn't hear a beep or the lights blinking, but I did what it said to do on screen. So it should, I thought it would take us to the gyro calibration, but that must have been the first thing. So looks like we got FPV, and we are on the high-speed mode. Let's fire up the motors, and then this little button on the back here should give us the auto takeoff. So I'm going to turn on the motors now, and that's both sticks out. Motors are on, and that worked. Look at that. And we got a little bit of a drop there, but it's looking pretty good. Let's start recording, and that should be a short press on the record button right here. And it is. So far so good. I'm liking what we've got here so far. And I am going to put it in low speed mode here. Yeah, that on the screen you'll see it said 50%. That's low speed, so we don't want to start out in high speed. But you know, the drone is pretty darn stable. It's looking pretty good. Sorry I had to step away there for a second. Had some stuff blowing away. So let's bring the drone into us here. I mean, it's pretty darn stable. So let's check out that gimbal. Let's rock it back and forth. And look at that gimbal. It's working just like it should. And again, this is in low speed mode. So yeah, I like that. So gosh guys, I see nothing to do now but do a manual droney. So let's go back into high speed, and that put it in 100%. So I'm going to give this a shot here, reverse and up. And I kind of got a little bit off there. And I'm going to stop and lower the gimbal. It's got a couple of buttons here on the bottom to adjust the gimbal, so it's not as easy to do the sticks and run the gimbal at the same time. So I'm going to line it up with this again, and let's go back a little further. I'm telling you, what I see on FPV here looks pretty darn good. So we'll see. Wow, look at this. Okay, I guess the thing to do now is just to fly it around a little bit. So that worked out very, very well. So we're going to stay away from the basketball court. There's a bunch of kids out there, but let's I think we can kind of head out here over by the pond, and it, you know, I'm going to pick up the gimbal just a little. There we go. So this controller is not as precise as, you know, on a more expensive drone, but you wouldn't expect it to be. You can see the flag is at half mast there. A couple reasons for that. Of course, we had the Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg that died, and then also we had a local firefighter die and actually crashed an airplane, a fire drop airplane, one of the single engine ones. And so the governor asked that all flags go on half staff in commemoration of that individual, which I think was a great deal. Okay, so I'm not going to go out over that road there, so we're going to turn around here, and we're going to see if we can go to the opposite end of the park. And I am trying to get a nice even yaw here. We'll see what we can do. Yeah, there we go. Okay, listen, I'm telling you, what I'm seeing on the screen here looks pretty good. So I'm going to go full stick forward, and let's take a look at our horizontal speed. So I've got the stick all the way forward, and we're in 100% mode. We're about 47 meters high. I see the drone drifting to the right a little bit. And I'm watching the drone 6 meters per second. That's not bad. You know, that's 6 meters per second is about probably 14 or 15 miles an hour. Let's adjust our heading here a little bit. There we go. We'll go clear out to the opposite corner of the park, and we're going to hover for a second. And let me pick up that gimbal. There we go. So the gimbal is just in steps, so it's tough to get a fine adjustment, but you guys have seen me shoot out this direction before. So I'm going to stop recording for a second and let's take some pictures. So I'm going to stop recording by a quick press on this button. You can see recording stopped, and then let's take a picture. And this should be a 4K picture. Privacy for your photos. Okay, we don't want to mess with that right now. Allow access to photos. Gosh, good old iOS. Okay, we're going to take a picture. And it didn't well, maybe that's what that means in Chinese. Yeah. Okay, so I'm assuming that says that we took a picture. Let's do one more. And hopefully we'll get that same message. Yeah, we did. Okay. So I'm assuming that means we successfully took a picture. I'm going to yaw over to the right here, and let's look over at the Boise Mountains, and we'll take another picture. And now I see a status bar go by at the bottom of the screen, so I have no idea what that means. Saved image. Okay. So there was something going on there. I'll be darned if I know what it was. Let's take another one just to be on the safe side. And it's doing the same thing. So maybe we didn't get a picture before. I don't know. See that status bar at the bottom sliding over? And that must mean it's saving it to the camera, I assume. Saved image. Okay, let's turn around and let's face towards. In fact, yeah, I mean it really is hit and miss on this yaw. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, guys. It's not responding. Now it is a little bit. Well, I don't know what that means, but it wasn't responding to controls. Still not responding to controls. Let's bring it back. Yeah, I don't know what those messages are, but it is not responding to controls right now. I have no idea what that means. So what I'm going to do is, and we are how far away? We're about 230 meters away. I think they're saying that this has like a 600-meter range, but we're not even close to that. Anyway, I'm going to hit return to home and see if we can get it to come back. So I'm not seeing the FPV. Oh, there it goes finally. Yeah, so it was not responding to stick controls at all there. So, you know, what those messages meant that were in Chinese, I don't know, but it did finally take the return to home command. So that might be an opportunity for us. And I see it up there. See how close it gets to us here. And it's closing in on us. We'll drop the gimbal here, and this will be a good test anyway. Wish I could stop that beeping. I'm sorry about that. And it's orienting itself. So here's what I'm going to tell you, what I'm seeing with this guy that's different than the SG906 Pro. It seems to be a lot smoother. And it is a ways off from the pad, but this doesn't, you know, this drone doesn't pretend to have precision landing. I'm going to pick that camera back up. I mean, it's going to be, you're going to see it here. I mean, it's going to be about a foot off, and it's down in the grass, so it took it a second to shut off the motors, but I mean, that's not bad. It's about a foot off of the pad. So let's take off again. Okay, we'll unlock the motors and hit the takeoff button on the back here. And there she goes, and boy, it really does the drop there, but that's all right. It's doing okay. Okay, so let's go back up. And I wanted to, my intention was, oh, we need to start recording. Let's start recording. Sorry about that. We missed a bunch of recording there on its way back, but we'll have the screen recording of that. And I don't know what that was about there. But let's get a look at, let's go to the opposite corner of the park here. And we'll get a look at the construction. We're not going to go out of the bounds of the park here, but we're going to get a look at the construction that's going on there across the street. And we're about roughly, we'll go out about roughly 150 meters, 160 it says. And I'm getting a little bit of jerkiness on the FPV. So let's, yeah, I'm gonna try something here. I'm gonna drop that speed to 50% and see if I can get a little smoother yaw. Try and center it here. And I am pushing the stick. Yeah, see, I'm getting that same whatever that error is that I had before. And I'm getting no response from the sticks. Don't know what that error message is. There we got something again. Don't know what that is, guys. And we're only 182 meters away. I am facing the controller directly to the drone. Oh, there we got. Well, it seemed like I had a little bit of control there for a second. Whoop, there we got a little bit. Look at that. So what I'm saying is we're reaching the limit. Yeah, I'm trying to center it here. Oh, we're getting in a low battery situation here already. Holy cow, we had a full charge. Okay, I'm going to take a couple of quick pictures here. I'm going to stop recording and we're going to take a picture. Maybe. There, we got a picture, I believe. I think. You know, I am going to go back to 100% speed and we're going to hit return to home because we have, if we look on screen here, it says we're low on battery. So yeah, it took that command, so that's good. So I don't know if we can trust this battery meter or not, but look, it says we've only got a quarter of the battery left, and so we didn't get nearly, oh, I'm going to start recording, yeah. So we didn't get nearly the battery time that they said. You know, they're claiming 28 minutes. Boy, we haven't flown for, I'm going to say less than 15 minutes. I mean, not long. So here it comes, though. I'm glad it took that command, but I guess what I'm going to tell you with this guy is you're going to have limited range, right? It's not going to, anytime we got more than 150 meters away, it got spotty. So, and that's not a bad thing, because a drone in this price category, you're not expecting a lot of range. Let's see if we can drop that camera down. There, we're getting it. So we'll try it one more time and we'll see how close it gets here. And I've got he's drawn some lines here. Yeah, he's turning around. Okay, we're gonna be pretty close here. I want to make sure you guys can see it. Yeah, you can see that. So that noise you hear is not a mower. That guy is painting lines for soccer this weekend that they play out here, youth soccer. Okay, let's stop recording. Okay, so what's strange right now is now it's showing that we got half a battery, and I'm still seeing 2 lights on the battery. You know, I'm gonna take off again real quick. That's really odd, isn't it? I'm gonna take off again really quick. And we're gonna try a quick orbit with this drone and then we'll land it. So yeah, I mean, that makes more sense that we'd have about half the battery, but anyway, let's give it a shot. I'm gonna keep it close and low. Okay, so there we took off again. Let's get a little bit of altitude. Okay, I'm gonna walk out into the field, so we'll be dependent on audio off my iPhone here. Yeah, so now it's giving me a low battery warning, but let's just try it real quick. Whoops, that's the wrong one I meant to do. Yeah, so it won't do it. So, sorry about that. Yeah, now it's saying red battery, so let's do that return to home again. So that was interesting. You know, when it landed, it was back up to 50% battery. 2 lights were showing on the back of the battery, but now it's saying that it's in the red. So we really, we did not get nearly the amount of flight time that they promised. I can tell you that, and it was fully charged. So I don't know what to say. So it's coming down, and you know, it's pretty accurate. The GPS on this guy is pretty darn good. And you're seeing that on camera here. I mean, yeah, I think it's even it's really close to the pad that time. I mean, it's just inches off the pad. So okay, let me stop recording so we don't lose that file. That's one thing that I want to point out on all these cheaper drones, for sure, all drones really, you should stop recording before you shut off the drone. That way you will not get a corrupted file and not be able to look at your video file. So looks like that's the end of our flight. Let me get everything shut down here and we'll do a conclusion. Okay, so we had a pretty decent flight with the ZLL RC SG906 Pro 2 Beast drone, and this is a series of drones. Started with one that they called the Beast that just had a fixed camera, then the Pro had a 2-axis gimbal, and now the Pro 2 has got a 3-axis gimbal on it. So I'm really anxious to see what that video looks like. It looked okay on my FPV screen, so I'm hoping that it turned out pretty good. You guys will obviously already have seen it, so know before I did. Couple of things about this flight. Flight time was disappointing. They're advertising 26 minutes and we didn't get that, and I had a fully charged battery. The other thing is, you saw that the battery meter was a little bit wonky too. We landed it, it went down to 25%. I brought it back, we landed it, it was back up to 50%. I took off again and I was going to do an orbit, a circle mode, and it went down into the red immediately. So then we landed it, and there were 2 lights still on in the battery. So I'll be honest with you, I don't know how much battery power we had left, but it certainly wasn't the advertised minutes that they say. But even that is okay, because this is a drone that doesn't have a lot of range, so you're just going to be flying it fairly close in anyway. So you know, that's not, I don't see that as a big critical bad issue. With regard to range, you know, you're not going to want to take this thing out. I think the advertised range, I think they said, what, 600 meters, or was it 400 meters? At any rate, it's not even close to that. You get much beyond 150 meters and you're going to start having control issues. As you saw, there were issues where I could not, I had no control with the sticks at all. Now I was able to get it to take a return to home command, and I was able to take some pictures and some things with it. So I don't know what that's about, but again, I'm going to say that's okay. This is not intended to be a long distance drone, so it's just for what we're doing right here. It's a park flyer. You're not going to want to have it out more than 100 or 150 meters, and as long as you stay within that, you're going to be just fine. As far as flight, I thought it flew pretty good. I mean, you saw it did a little bit of a drop when it took off. Hey, that's okay. As long as you know that that's what that is what's going to happen. You know, I'm not going to kid you, the controls are not super precise, but they work. You got the 2 speed modes. In the 100% mode, we were up to, I think, 6 meters per second, which is about 15 miles an hour, 15 miles an hour. So you know, in a drone of this category, I think that's pretty good too. So I'm anxious to see what the pictures look like, and I'm anxious to see what the video looks like. You guys will have already seen that. So yeah, I guess that's about it. The SG906 Pro 2, the beast drone. It is indeed a beast. So I want to add again that I will put a link down below for TomTop to purchase this thing. I just looked on their website. They had it for $159.99, so about 160 bucks, free shipping to the US. Obviously those prices change all the time, so you know, when you're watching this video, that could be different. So I guess that's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I really appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And of course, we'll see you on the next one. And of course, we'll see you on the next one. The ZLL RC SG906 Pro 2 Beast Drone. We'll see you guys later.